I just want to say before the video starts to make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am actually losing subscribers every day as I am transitioning over into Storybook Brawl content. So if you like what you see, if you want to see more, leave a like and hit that subscribe button and enjoy. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to be continuing coverage of my performance in the Storybook Brawl Questing League's Open Qualifier. This is game 9, and this is going to be the second to last game in the tournament. And we're going to be playing Loki, and a Loki with a 4 Glory and a Sherwood Sure Shot. Sure seems like a decent shot at winning. Now, we are up against a Gwen, and I think I remember this correctly, but there are ways certainly that we can lose to Gwen, and yeah, that's what I thought. It was a upgraded Wizard's Familiar, and they're even going to get the first attack, which means we are going to take 5 damage right off the bat, and then we're going to take 2 more from a Forbidden Fruit, but that one I can get behind a little bit because we are going to be able to purchase a Black Cat plus a Mad Mim. I was planning on probably selling whatever we got from the 4 Glory and using that to purchase the Black Cat Mad Mim. So we probably would have been in the same place regardless. We would have just had an additional 7 health. I do think Loki is trying his best to high roll for us, but unfortunately we're getting a little bit unlucky in the face of some of what my opponent is doing here. But as you can see, we are able to start getting some wins here now, and we get continued to high roll Loki here as we pick up an eeny meeny on a tiny. We don't really need, it didn't need to be tiny, but certainly just happy to have the eeny meeny because now we'll have more units than most of our opponents here. Gonna play a few support units, and I'm also really considering playing this Baby Root in the front line just because I think we would prefer to have more units than bigger units at this stage in the game, and frontlining the Baby Root as a 3-3. A 3-3 is going to be on par with anything that our opponents are going to be doing right now. And yeah, we just don't need our units necessarily to have more attack. But then my opponent has a 9-10. Now, luckily, we are able to kill it here still with what we have. But that could have been scary. That could have been scary. But we walk out of that fight still with 4 units held high. So pretty good stuff there altogether. And I'm certainly considering a doubly that is doubly supported. That seems pretty sweet. As long as we win this combat, we'll have 3 extra gold on the next turn as well. So that is kind of cool. And I am going to not go for the doubly here, actually, but instead, oh yeah, I can move this around. Okay, I do like this. I like this a lot. I think what I'm basically considering here is selling the tiny, picking up the doubly, and the problem is I am then trading a 10-5 for a 7-7, so maybe that's not worth it. Okay, yeah, I guess it isn't worth it. I'll just pick up a 1-1, and the Black Cat only really needs 1 Mad Mim supporting it, whereas the tiny really appreciates having that extra health. So I think that this is fine. I think that this is right. I maybe could have just rolled, though, instead of completing the combat just by picking up that Lonely Prince. But yeah, this seems fine ultimately. My opponent is going to get a Slay with Brave Princess, but we're killing it despite that first game where we took a whole bunch of damage for no reason. We are otherwise killing it. And here we have the opportunity to, after an eeny meeny, we can pick up a Ring of Meteors, Crown of Atlas, or Jack's Jumping Bean. And I'm going to go for the Jumping Bean just for the most onboard stats. The Crown could help with the cat, and some other stuff, but I think just the jumping being grabbing the +4/+4. Queen of Hearts is good at this point in the game. And I guess I'm definitely considering this Ogre Princess as well, because we can put that on the Mad Mim, so then we're definitely slaying, and that's going to flip our Frog Princess over as well. So, yeah, all of this looks pretty good. We'll just backline the Sherwood Sure Shot, and then I see a pair of Tinies, and while not super impressive, I think being able to grab a treasure here is pretty nice. So I will go ahead and actually, I just go ahead and grab the treasure right now so that I can unlock the shop. And it's actually not that good of a shop, so I try to unlock the shop. There we go. I just pick up the Lonely Prince, and that way I'm left with a pair. And this makes our board, like, just stronger. I think this is, like, the strongest our board can be, while also potentially allowing us to set up for some nice things in the future. And I think that we're okay here. I think with this Sherwood Sure Shot, we are going to win. Yeah, there we go. That attacks into the Sure Shot there and gives us the dub. That is going to make potential crafties less strong. This crafty could have been a 7/7 had we had 2 treasures. So I don't really think I want it, but now that I've got a Princess White and it's a princess to flip the Frog Prince as well, then I do think I'm going to want to pursue some dwarves. The Princess White is just a big unit as well. And I might play the Frog Prince over the Sure Shot, though the Sure Shot will get buffed by the Stag, so maybe I do just appreciate getting the Sure Shot in there as well. But, oh, yeah, this is kind of tricky, because it could be a pair of creepers, or I could just go for the doubly. And the doubly still isn't going to be that strong, but it is a dwarf, and the dwarfs does get us somewhere. I guess I could have the doubly get buffed up by the Stag. That's also kind of interesting. It would get +6/+6. I don't hate this. It's tricky. Do you want a ranged 5/4, or do you want a non-ranged 7/7? And it's honestly a pretty tough call to make, but I decide to go with the ranged unit. And we're still doing well with this Ogre Princess, still slaying, still keeping it strong. We're able to get rid of their Sleeping Princess, and then our Mad Mim is actually going to get to do a lot of work in the backline there as a, what was it, a 410? Yeah, it was a 410. So that was pretty sweet. We get some free XP off of Loki, and we also got a Brave Princess off of the Ogre Princess. But this was before the recent change to Loki and Genie's Wish, where targeted spells can now be in the pool. So Loki was a lot more powerful a few weeks ago, just because it was so much more likely that you would just get XP as you were playing him, and that just made him pretty strong. Gonna continue to try to pick up dwarves wherever we can. Probably should just toss this Brave Princess at this point in the game and pick up the Crafty. But the Crafty is not super powerful. I'm actually going to toss the Frog Prince. I think that's probably a bit of a mistake, but that's fine. And then we see Greedy as an option. And I like Greedy, but how are we going to put it in? I'm just going to sell some dwarves. Okay, that's fair. And I do think that buying and selling dwarves is like a fine strategy sometimes when you are playing dwarves, because you're still growing your Princess White. You're still putting yourself in a position where the dwarves can be good. And I am going to just maximize the amount of gold that I can create this turn by playing both Lucky and Greedy. So definitely getting a little bit greedy on this one, and I think that is going to cause us to lose our second fight, as we lost our first fight on the first turn, and this is really our first loss since then. So not too bad, but we're definitely going to take some damage because of it. That was a really greedy turn. One more dwarf means we'll be able to flip the Princess White. And one thing that's kind of interesting about dwarves is that the more you are buying and selling your dwarves, specifically the more you're selling them, the more you're reintroducing those dwarves back into the pool, which means the sooner you will be able to find them to purchase more dwarves. So selling dwarves to buy more dwarves honestly isn't the worst problem in the world. And here we have the choice between treasure map and power orb. Really, no scenario where we take Bad Moon here, I don't think. We'll just take the treasure map, I suppose. I think we're in a good enough position. It's actually asthma. It's not just that I'm bored and yawning. It's me trying to catch my breath while giving commentary. But I am going to go for the power orb, and I could even play the doubly here. The doubly would have a decent amount of stats in this front line, and I'm going to sell everything to purchase the doubly at 19.7. Not too bad. But the point I was trying to make is that when you sell dwarves, you put them back in the pool, which allows you to buy more dwarves, which allows the Princess White to do more. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'd potentially like to see some type of dwarf that allows you to econ more and cycle through dwarves more, like the Golden Chicken allows you to do for Hungry Hippocampus, but I could understand how that could potentially be too busted. But I do think that Dwarves needs a little bit more support in that capacity, just because Princess White doesn't grow the same way that she used to anymore. However, obviously, she is still pretty powerful. I think my last game, there was a Dwarves player that at the very least was in the top 3, right? Because we got 4th and they were still alive. I think they did actually wind up winning that lobby. They found some sweet stuff and wound up winning. We could sell some things and buy the Lordy here. So I think that the fact that, but that's tricky because then we lose the Mad Mim for the doubly. We've kind of committed to it at this point, committed to selling some things. So I guess we sell Sure Shot, and I'm going to sell the upgraded Tiny, and this is kind of what I was talking about, is you can sell your dwarves, and now I'll be able to upgrade this other Tiny, or just buy more Tinies. There will be more Tinies in the shop, and that can allow you to just make more use out of purchasing dwarves and spending your gold to increase the power of your board. But in the last game, somebody did really well with dwarves, and I think that that is part of the reason that I wanted to play dwarves this game, because I just saw somebody else do well with it, and I started thinking, okay, dwarves might not win, but if my goal right now is to just get middling positions, meant to bring up as well that the jumping bean went on the doubly, as I'm kind of distracted by some other commentary here, but if I can just get some 4ths and some 5ths as I take out Zaphod 42 right now, I am one step closer in achieving that goal. And somebody else went down this turn too. So people dying is, it's a really, I was about to say a really morbid statement. People dying is really good for us. But other players losing will just, we don't have to win. If we can just get some 4ths, I know that I can lock myself in to try to get a top 32 and qualify for the next phase of the tournament, which is certainly a goal here and certainly something that I am trying to do. Bouncing around the Princess White so that I can try to have the fannies and things survive for longer, but once I get the Lordy in there too, and the double fannies, then I want to throw Princess White back to the other side. So this is a tricky thing here. Do I want to pick up the Angry right now, or should I have just gone for the Greedy? And I think I should have just gone for the Greedy on that turn, but I want to make sure, again, that I'm just not dying. So we're going to lock the greedy, and we are going to pick up the angry for now. And I think that that is totally acceptable too. But anyways, Dwarves is a really, really good comp, I think, for climbing. And I think it is a good comp in the same way. I mean, things that are good for climbing are also going to be good for the Swiss portion of tournaments or the opening portions of tournaments, where you just need to finish well. You don't need to win. You just need to place well enough to get you to the next phase of the event. And there we go. My opponent's whole board is dead by the time we make our first attack, and that is going to let us get another kill, and that is going to put us into at least 5th place. So we're at 26 health right now. We're leading the leaderboards here on top, like 6 of Shields, to buff the angry, the doubly, and the greedy. All 3 of them, I think, appreciate the 6 of Shields here, so that's pretty sweet. But oh wow, and a Fanny is pretty cool too. If we could get a Ring of Meteors here. No, we see some different rings. Okay, probably just skipping this one, but eventually I'll make this full point uninterrupted. Oh wow, we got more XP here too. I did not even realize that. Will we lock this tree? I'm not sure that we should, because the tree really isn't good until you have Lordy, and I don't want to waste this 2 gold right now. I'd be wasting 1 gold because we could pick up the other thing. I am going to go ahead and lock for the doubly, though, because we'll be able to make a treasure out of that, and then we'll be able to continue rolling on the next turn. So I'm pretty solidly in Dwarves right now. Excuse me. I am hoping that I'll have enough power to hold on while maybe Gwen dies, and then maybe one other person gets eliminated from here, as I can just try to not lose as many battles as I possibly can. And we could potentially even be looking at a 2nd or a 3rd place finish, which is pretty good. And that would assuredly lock me into the top 32. And then at that point, I'm playing for like top 16 or something like that. So I think that we are in a good spot here. We are set up well for success. And we're actually getting a ton of extra cash on this greedy. Actually, we're not. No, the greedy barely got attacked. There we go. It finally takes another attack. So we're going to go into this round with an additional 4 gold. We don't have a Ring of Meteors here either, but that additional 4 gold is going to let us pick up the doubly, grab a Deep Stone Mine, can toss the Jumping Beans finally. I think it's better to toss the Jumping Beans than the Power Orb. Just any stats on Angry are good stats. We could pick up the Echo Wood now, but I want to roll and find a Lordy. I want to roll. I want to ride. So let's find that Lordy, and then now we are just looking for more Angries, more Lordies, and we actually find a 2nd Lordy here. So that is pretty fantastic, and that is a huge power spike this turn, and will continue to be a pretty large power spike next turn. We see that Sadrak lost 12 health on that last fight, and Gwen lost the game. Gwen died. So as long as Peter can take out Sadrak here, that's going to put us into 3rd place, and we shouldn't be losing to Fallen Angel right now. What is the most you can lose in a turn? Is 27, right? Yeah, 21 plus 6. So we could theoretically die here, but we probably won't die worse than the Sadrak. And we're not even close to dying here. We're so much more powerful than our opponent right now with this early Lordy pickup. And we're going to get some cash to show for it as well. An additional 4 cash to go into the next turn. So love to see that as well. Oh, maybe even some more cash. 4 cash or more cash. No, not with the Hand of Vecna. Though, no, we could. Oh, if that went onto the greedy there, that would have just been fantastic. Oh, that could hit greedy. Okay. We're getting greedy. Wait, no, now that can hit greedy. Wow, the angry just pumps it up just barely to survive and allow us to get just a little bit more gold. So we're going to have enough bonus gold to buy the... Oh, wow. Okay, Masquerade Ball. Loki trolled us there. The Loki giveth and the Loki taketh away. We actually did not see Sadrak get eliminated as Pants lost, but we are going to find a Lordy anyways. So looks like if we want some people to lose, that we've got to be the ones that take people out on this lobby. But no matter. Oh, we can pick up a bossy here by selling our chicken. Oh, I'm going to sell my fanny. Okay, I think that's good because I'm not using it. Then I can pick up a Dwarven Forge, which will allow us to pick up a tier 6 treasure with the Lordy. These Lordies should now combine once the game registers. Okay, and I can get a Pandora's Box or a Spear of Achilles, and I think that Spear is just so much better on the Dwarves because there's a lot of treasures that really don't do anything on level 7 with Dwarfs. So I'm happy to just pick up a Spear, and then I'm even just going to play a little golden chicken here, a little 3-3, and certainly be not that powerful, but still very, very powerful for this point in the game. Going to walk away with some free gold yet again, and unfortunately we attacked wrong there, but we are going to kill Peter Pants from 19, even with that golden chicken. The golden chicken actually did not help. We would have still dealt 19 even without that chicken, but we are absolutely just crushing it now. And here we can pick up a Dracula's Saber. We could also pick up a Monkey's Paw, but Monkey's Paw is kind of terrible with Lordy. So I do think Dracula's Saber is really good here. I would take Exploding Mittens if we could give our opponent an Exploding Mittens, but that's basically what Dracula's Saber is give your opponent an Exploding Mittens. It's actually exactly the same, isn't it? Yeah, because everything takes 1 damage and then everything gets, well, they'd get more than +1 or +2 because the Lordy is upgraded, or the Angry is upgraded. Going to take a Crafty here. That is going to be a considerable upgrade on the board just to give us a little bit more stats. And I'm going to roll, try to find another Crafty to find a Ring of Meteors, but instead we find a Lordy. So this is all just fantastic. I want to backline my Doubly, and I want to backline my Greedy, both because they're upgraded, so they'll deal more damage in the back. We'll only need one of those things to survive, but also this way that the Doubly can get all of the Dracula's Saber buffs. I think my team is just going to be fantastically large here. I think that there's some other ways that you can configure this board, like putting Princess White earlier is probably a little bit better, so that way we can start to get a sleigh with the Dracula Saber, but it's not really going to matter. The board is absolutely huge, and yeah, I don't really think that's going to be a thing. My opponent's going to have a tough time just getting through any of my units here. They are going to get through a few, but they're not going to be able to get through enough to actually save them. So by the time Doubly attacks in, yeah, we're hitting this guy for 19 as well. And do we have another battle, or does Fallen Angel lose to the Ghost? That's what I thought. So a pretty commanding victory. Pretty high roll Loki there as well. Held back slightly, actually pretty significantly, by my first round Gwen upgrading on that Wizard's Familiar, and not the fact that they hit us for 7, but they denied our 4 glory as well. For the most part, though, the Loki was pretty high roll, other than when it trolled and it balled away that one Lordy in the shop for us. But there we go, Dwarves. My plan was just, okay, Loki is a pretty safe champion. He was much better last patch, and Dwarves are a pretty safe comp to play. So I'm going to play Dwarves, and I'm going to try to get like 4th, maybe 3rd, and instead I wound up winning the lobby. So that is going to be my 4th win over the course of 10 rounds. I've said this in previous videos too, but I was really, really happy with this performance. despite some of the fumbles in some of the other rounds. I thought I was a little bit more of a safe player, you know, just play, but that's not me. I'm NoLucksGiven, baby. I'm all in, and I'm first or I'm eighth. So that's kind of how things wound up falling. But that's basically it. I am going to upload one more game tomorrow, which will be my last game from the qualifier portion of this tournament, and then probably in like a week or two, kind of depends with the holidays whenever we are able to play them, but we'll actually start playing the league games and get into the season, and I'll start uploading some of those videos on the channel here as well. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more sweet Storybook Brawl content. I think also on the schedule, so tomorrow will be the last qualifier video. The video after that will be a really sweet game where I got Mythic this season. The game that I hit Mythic was just a lot of fun. So definitely want to showcase that one soon. And that's going to be it. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. Check out all the other Storybook Brawl videos I got. I'm uploading a new Storybook Brawl video every day, 9:30 p.m. EST. So yeah, check those out and enjoy. But I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.